listening to Chatting Up the Irish. You're very welcome. Tonight I speak with Liam Kelly. He is a native of Achill Island, which is a most amazing, beautiful island off the west coast of Mayo. He is a bog wood sculptor. He also is very knowledgeable about Achill, its history, different parts of the island. So we're having a chat with him for about 30 minutes, so don't go anywhere. Please take your cup of coffee, relax and enjoy the chat. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, you're very welcome to Chatting Up the Irish. I am joined this evening by a friend of mine from a most beautiful part of the country. It is actually an island off, is it the west, Liam, the west of Ireland?
Yeah, the west coast of Ireland.
West coast of Ireland, not the northwest. I like to say the northwest, but it's the west coast of Ireland. My friend's name is Liam Kelly. He lives in Achill. Absolutely beautiful. He's going to tell us all about Achill Island. He is also a sculptor and he is also a magnificent photographer. And we're going to talk to Liam. He's going to tell us all about Achill Island and all the stuff that Achill Island has to offer. We include Achill Island on our island hopping tours. Did you know that, Liam? I advertise an island hopping tour and we go to the Aran Islands, we go to Achill Island, we'll be going to Inishbofin and going up to Coney Island off Sligo. So we're hoping that maybe people will come with us when everything opens up again and we'll visit you and you also have a B&B, Liam. I forgot about the B&B, Lakefield B&B. So Liam, tell us all about Achill. First of all, it still is an island, even though there's a bridge from the mainland.
Yeah, it's joined to the mainland by a bridge that was put in 1887, and it's called the Michael Davitt Bridge. And Achill is about 15 miles long and about 11 miles wide. And the first kind of settlement in Achill was about 5,000 years ago. And since then, Achill has witnessed the arrival of Christianity, power of Gráinne Mhaol.
Oh yeah, Gráinne Mhaol. For anyone now, Gráinne Mhaol would have been a queen pirate. Am I right, Liam?
Yeah, she's a pirate queen, and she worked along all of the west coast of Ireland, and she was a thorn on the side of the British for a long time.
A long time. She was a powerful woman.
There's a story of her that one of her sons was captured by the English, and he was taken to England and put in the prison waiting to be beheaded. And Gráinne Mhaol, being Gráinne Mhaol, decided she was going to go and meet the Queen Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
So she sailed over to England and up the Thames into the Queen. And because she couldn't speak English and the Queen couldn't speak Irish, they conversed in Latin.
Really?
Yeah. And she wanted the Queen to pardon her son. So eventually the Queen decided she'd pardon the son if Gráinne Mhaol promised to stop taking her ships along the west coast, which she did do. She came back with her son, but needless to say, she carried on plundering before her and after her.
And I heard that story, but I also heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that that Queen had to get a box put on her chair to rise her up to be at the same level as Gráinne Mhaol, because Gráinne Mhaol was a big woman and the Queen was only a small woman. And of course, Gráinne Mhaol intimidated everybody. I mean, men and women alike were terrified of Gráinne Mhaol because she just, she was a powerful pirate. That's what she was, really.
She was a pirate, yeah, but she was it's the old story. She was written out of Irish history because she was a woman.
Yeah.
And from then on, really, women were written out of Irish history,
And Liam, would she have had places around Achill? Would she have lived in Achill, or would she have based her armies or her
fleet? She had a lookout tower in Cloughmore in Achill, which is still there today.
Is it still there? Wow. So that goes back, what, to the 12th, 13th century?
Yeah. The tower, where her tower is, it's in the where the sea comes in between Achill and the mainland,
Uh-huh.
and it's very close to Clew Bay. So she used to shoot out from the lookout tower. It was, but it's actually still there, you know.
Yeah.
And there's another lookout tower she has in Galway as well that's still there too.
Yeah. And I know that she had, where Westport House is now, she had a dwelling there or a castle there as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she was the people that were there were direct descendants from her.
Yeah. Oh, the people that are there now.
Not at this moment in time. It's changed hands a couple of years ago, but
Yeah.
up until then it was.
Oh, wow.
So they were direct descendants. You see, Achill as well is full of O'Malley's.
Yeah. It is. It's a great
there's
Mayo name, isn't it?
There's quite a lot of families here who claim descendancy from Granuaile.
Well, you never know. You know, she was a mighty woman. And what else? Let's say if I was to go into Achill now, where would you advise me to bring a group? And what would I see there? Now, number one, before we start, Liam took this picture that's behind me. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful picture. Liam's photographs are amazing, and I'll be showing some of them after a while. But that is the coastline of Achill. Whereabout is that, Liam?
That's what we call on the Atlantic Drive. And when you come into Achill, Achill now is part of the Wild Atlantic Way.
Yeah.
Which has a signature point right at the very end of Achill and Kim. So when you come into Achill now, you come across the bridge and you come into Achill Sound.
Yeah.
You turn left, and that brings you right around the coast. We used to call it the Atlantic Drive.
Yeah.
Before it's called it the Wild Atlantic Way.
Well, we'll stick to the Atlantic Drive.
And there's a lot of signature points along there. The Spanish Armada, there was a wreckage along there that's still there. And as you come down to that picture behind you, that's like coming into Duiga.
Yeah.
And the scenery there is like amazing.
It's amazing.
And
it's
that side of
breathtaking. I mean, you know, like Liam, I know that you're an amazing photographer, but even photographs can't capture the beauty of these places.
The photographs will never capture the beauty of Achill because Achill could have 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like a lot of the west of Ireland, really. But you see, Achill has always courted artists and photographers and writers.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons is when you come to a lot of people when they come to Achill, they only come for one day, right?
Yeah.
And they do that because it's like a day trip from Westport.
Yeah.
Now it should be the other way around. You should be staying in Achill and having a day trip to Westport.
Exactly. But you're right.
When you come into Achill, and if you're on here for one day, you see nothing.
Yeah. You don't see it all. You can't. You couldn't see it all.
No, you need to be here for 3 days.
Yeah.
The first day you get here, you kind of relax and calm down from all the troubles you have wherever you've come from.
Yeah.
And the second day, then you have a look around Achill, and you take your time.
And there's beautiful beaches there as well, Liam, isn't there?
There's 5 blue flag beaches here.
Explain for people here what blue flag means.
Blue flag is clear water, safe for swimming.
Yeah.
But on that second day you're here, you'd have to take your time, go around slowly, and not just look. You have to see.
Yes.
Like it's no point just looking. You have to see. You have to stop. You have to see. And then on the third day, you may decide to stay or you may decide to go.
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually stay.
Yeah.
Like at the moment, we have a lot of people that are settling in Achill.
Yeah. I want to settle in Achill.
A lot of people kind of are under the impression that Achill is a long way away. You know, it's the end of Europe.
Yeah.
Which it is because It's the closest point to America,
Yeah.
but we're only 3 hours drive from Dublin,
Yeah.
and we're only an hour and a half from Knock Airport.
Yeah.
So,
You're not too far away from Galway either.
no, a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But it's and with the internet and modern technology and everything, you can work from home.
Absolutely. It's yeah, it's amazing. And tell us about how many villages would be on Achill?
Oh, well, that's a million-dollar question. There's about 8 or 9 villages.
Is there?
Yeah.
And what about the deserted village, Liam? Talk to us about that.
But the deserted village is just in Achill. There's 3 or 4 deserted villages.
Oh, is there? I
Oh.
thought there was only one.
No, but the one on Slieve Moor would be probably the most famous, and it's probably the finest example of a deserted famine village in the country. There was originally 137 houses there,
Yeah.
and at this moment in time, you can see about 75 of the ruins that are left.
Mhm.
Now, there's Achill was inhabited roughly about 5,000 years ago. And along Slieve Moor, there's megalithic tombs that date back to that date.
Oh, wow.
So the deserted village was really, there was 3 distinct kind of, we call them smaller villages, for want of a better word.
Okay.
And they're situated on the side of the mountain.
Mhm.
One of the reasons they're situated there is because there's fantastic shelter.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people say, why did they go that far away from the sea? So when the famine started, a lot of they moved from there back to a village called Roa.
Yeah.
And then the deserted village was used as a bowlie village, which meant they used to come from Roa in the summertime and stay in those old houses with livestock.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of, there's actually kind of disagreement. Did they all leave with the famine? But the last people that left that village there was in 1955.
Okay. So.
And up until in the 1940s, then it was used as a bowlie village as well. But the family did live there until 55.
So they all didn't go during the famine?
No, that particular, no, not all of them. No, they seem to go between, there was kind of, through the famine years, they seem to be leaving, but they didn't all go at once,
Yeah.
But the houses were very, very basic.
Yeah.
They were rectangular and there were dry stone walls.
Yeah.
Most of them only had one window.
Yeah. Of course, there was a light tax during, there was a light tax at those stages.
Yeah, there was a window tax.
A window tax, yeah, light tax, yeah.
And that's where the half door came into play.
Yes, yeah.
But the houses inside then were, half of it was for living, and the other half, they used to have the animals in it in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And there was a divide then between the living accommodation and the livestock.
Yeah.
Like a little, we call them a lemur.
Yeah.
Where the livestock peed and it come outside.
Yeah.
But over the livestock, then they had like was their sleeping area.
Then again, you see, I suppose there was a dual purpose in that, Liam, because the livestock would heat up the house as well.
That was the whole idea of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And to this day, you can see the ridges where the potatoes were.
Yeah.
They call them lazy beds.
Yeah.
So
it's a unique kind of a place. I don't think you'd see it. I don't know. I haven't come across it anywhere else. Maybe it is in other parts of Ireland, but it is definitely a unique part of Achill, the deserted villages.
I think there are other deserted villages in Ireland, like, but this is so it's dramatic because of where it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they go there, they get overcome with an awful sadness.
Yeah. Well, I can
There's a
understand.
there's an awful feeling of, I think it's called, you'd call it remembrance, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
The-
yeah, well there would be that kind of oppressive feeling in the place, I
It's
suppose, because those people had hard lives.
it's very quiet there as well.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
There's a, you know, you don't. The only thing you might hear might be sheep bleating,
Yeah.
but it's very it's quiet.
Well, I had a friend who used to go to the deserted village, and she reckons that there's all sorts of herbs growing around the deserted village.
Yeah, there is. That was one of the reasons they used to do the bullying with the livestock.
Okay.
There's all different herbs there, and the three villages that are in it. Remember, I said to you it was divided like into three.
Yeah.
Well, the names on them. I'm just trying to figure out now. I wrote it down. There's three names. The first one is Tor, Tuar,
Yeah. So,
and then Tor, Rubert, and then Fahia. And them names are after plants and vegetation that grew in different areas.
yeah.
So, like the deserted village, there's never been a proper name on it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been called Slievemore Village, the deserted village, the famine village,
Yeah.
but it never had really a name.
The name as
But
such.
Slievemore is the dominant feature there. That's been called, you know, the Great Mountain, the
Yeah.
Holy Mountain,
Yeah.
and there's something definitely mystical about Slievemore.
Well, there's something mystical about the whole of Achill Island, Liam, really.
So,
You know.
well, some people say there's magic in Achill.
Yeah. Well, talking about magic and talking about people that have a magical touch, tell me about when did you get into, you deal mostly with bog oak and you sculpt, is that the right word?
Yeah,
Yeah. When did you, how did that come about?
it came about by a total accident.
Did it?
You see, my background is restaurants and bars and hotels in England.
Yeah.
And when I come back then to live, I moved back here to live and I built the house here. Out of boredom, really, I started messing about with the bogwood.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about sculpting it. You know, I was getting shapes out of it. And somebody said to me, you'd never be able to do it. Like, you know, you have no experience, because my only training in art was in secondary school.
There you go.
So I ended up doing a few pieces, and people started asking me about, you know, what was I doing. Now, I didn't even Google it. I didn't even know what I was doing.
It was just something that came to you, and
I was intrigued with the bogs as a kid, you know.
I'm going to show something here and now. What's that behind me?
I called that the Eagle of Achill.
It's how long did it take you to do that?
That's like how long is a piece of string?
Yeah, okay. It's beautiful.
Something like that I'd be doing, you know, coming and going to it.
Yeah.
But when I started when I was doing it first in the space of a few months,
Yeah.
I was commissioned to do a piece for Mary Robinson, the ex-president,
Yes.
by Leaders for Climate Change, an American company.
Yes.
It's totally out of the blue. And then I had a couple of images that ran up and down Times Square, you know, where they do all the advertising.
Yes. Here's another one. That's absolutely beautiful. And there's another one. I'll get out of the way and let people see it. These are all photographs I took from your website, Liam.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And that's all bog oak. How would you get that? Where would you get that from?
That comes up from the when they cut turf
Yeah,
or doing drainage, drainage on the ground.
yeah.
Now,
We both
when I
have
start,
a tickle in our throats today, Liam.
it's so that's how it comes up out of the ground. But all of that wood is over 4,000 years old.
Yeah,
And the thing I find with that, I could be doing a piece of bogwood, and time just disappears. There's a total kind of relaxation in doing it,
yeah, of course.
and there's an energy that comes out of the bogwood that people don't. It's very hard to describe it, because if you think about it, it's been in the ground for 4,000, 5,000 years, right?
Yeah,
And no human hand has touched that in that length of time.
exactly.
So the first hand to touch it is mine,
Yes,
and then the second hand that will touch it is the person that will buy it.
yeah. And it's kind of an honor that you get when you're able to create something beautiful like that from something that hasn't been seen by the human eye for so long. There has to be a kind of a mystical energy to it as well.
There's definitely energy to it. Some people are saying that there's kind of different healing properties in bogwood, but
Well,
see,
I
your
could well believe it.
imagination.
Yeah, I could well believe it because they find in the bogs in Ireland, they find, let's say, blocks of butter that have been there for thousands of years, and they find bodies that are preserved for thousands of years. So, they reckon God said that no matter what disease you have, there's a plant or there's something growing in the ground to heal it.
Well, I think that's very true. That is,
Yeah,
you see, if you really wanted to, you could twist it around a little bit and say, who is God, or what is God? And
yeah,
if you think about it, the earth could be God,
yeah.
because
God is in the earth, or God is in us. God is everywhere. God is in that block of wood that you sculpted. You know, you
without
could you could work it either way, but exactly.
without the soil or without the earth, we can't survive.
We can't. Without water, we can't survive.
And we're gradually getting rid of the earth.
Yeah. Well, hopefully things will turn around and people will realize the value of the earth. Here is some of your photographs, Liam, I want to show. There is an absolutely gorgeous photograph.
That's taken from the front door of my house.
Oh boy, that is absolutely beautiful. And you sell prints, don't you?
I do,
If
yeah.
somebody wanted, let's say, to get a print of that, Liam, how would they get it? How would they contact you?
Just private message me on Facebook.
Liam Kelly, private
Yeah,
message
Kelly.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
That is a great one. Where was that taken?
That's taken in Newport,
All right.
not in Ackle.
And that's an old photograph or old
Yeah.
train or something.
That's an old train.
Wait, let's see. Here's another one that you have. It's gorgeous.
That's Kim Bay.
Oh, look at the beach. It's beautiful. Pure, perfect, clean water coming in there.
That's the furthest point in Ackle from the mainland now.
Is it? And how many miles would it be from, let's say, the bridge, once you cross the bridge to that point?
It's about 15 miles.
15 miles.
But that beach, and that's the same beach,
That's the same
has
thing.
it's been voted in the top 10 beaches in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. And this one, I love it.
Well, you know what that is.
That's a ram. Where is it though? It's on a pillar somewhere.
On a pillar. It's on a pillar.
And is that your animal?
No, it's not. No.
And then this one. Where did you do that one?
That's Croghan Mountain,
Oh, it's gorgeous.
which is just above Kim.
You must see some absolutely beautiful sunsets on Ackle.
The sunsets in Ackle are amazing because you see Ackle, you have nearly a 360-degree vision.
Yeah.
And if you're on, there's a mountain here. There's three mountains you could be on top of, and you can see all of Achill.
And Liam, another question. I'm sorry to be pushing all these questions at you, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a time when Achill was Irish speaking only.
It was Irish speaking only up to pre-famine, but at the moment, half of Achill would be fluent in Irish, and it's actually kind of split to call it Upper Achill and Lower Achill.
Yeah.
Upper Achill mainly is a Gaeltacht area. The side I live on is non-Gaeltacht.
Okay.
And the Irish that would be spoken on my side would be kind of school Irish mainly.
Okay. Would they have their own dialect, or would it be very close to Connemara Irish?
A lot of the Achill Irish are very close to Donegal.
Really?
Yeah.
That's unusual now.
And Ulster as well.
Yeah.
Because when Cromwell was clearing the people out of, a lot of them came to Achill.
Yeah.
From Ulster.
Yeah. They reckoned to hell or to Connacht. That's what Cromwell said to the people when he was taking their lands. He gave them the choice: either you die or you go to one of the rockiest places in Ireland, either the west of Ireland, or you just didn't live at all.
Yeah.
That was Cromwell.
You see, Achill was a matriarchal society. Achill was really kind of run by the women.
Yeah.
In the sense that 90% of the men had to immigrate to work.
Yeah.
And the women actually kept Achill going, and probably still do to this day,
Is there any places where you have Aran knitters or people who knit local patterns?
Not really anymore on Achill,
really.
no.
Yeah.
You would get individuals maybe doing a little bit of knitting,
Yeah.
but when I was a kid growing up, my mother would be knitting,
Yeah. Well,
but
yeah, I knew some knitters from Connemara as well, Aran knitters. My ex-mother-in-law was an Aran knitter, and actually to watch, she knitted an awful lot of ganzis for the boys, growing up, my children growing up. But I'm organising. I'm trying to organise a knitting tour as well, and to bring people over to different parts of the country, because there's a lot of knitters in Ireland, and they're very talented, and they're very their craft is amazing, and it's an old craft as well. So Liam, Facebook, if people, like some of the woodwork that you've worked on there, some of the sculpture, so people contact you and commission a work, or have you a workshop where people walk in and they can buy pieces?
I have a small gallery here at my house.
Yeah.
So people can come in and buy some. But I also do commission work as well.
Yeah. So if anybody in America, if you're going over to Ireland, even if you're not coming over with Secret Ireland Doors, if you happen to go over to Ireland and you have a couple of days to spend, first of all, Liam has a B&B, and this is the man that you'll be dealing with. It's called Lakefield B&B. And if you went on Facebook, you'd get him, Liam Kelly. Now, there's another Liam Kelly who's a flute player from Dervish. Did you know that? You have somebody, a very good friend of mine, Liam Kelly from Dervish as well. But Liam here is from Achill. He has an amazing gift of bog wood sculpture. He sculpts these amazing shapes out of bog wood. He is an amazing photographer. If anyone wants to order any photographs that he has taken, he has kindly allowed me to use his photographs on my social media to promote Achill Island and to promote Ireland in general. And Liam, thank you so much for allowing me to do that, because the photographs are absolutely amazing, and you really, really show Achill in a great light. But for anyone who would like to contact Liam, Facebook him, get in contact with him, and you'll see all his work there on his Facebook page. I presume, Liam, would you? You'll see all the photographs and everything.
Or they can email me on at achill.kelly@gmail.com. Gmail.
ackle.kelly@gmail.com. It'd be a lovely gift for somebody to get, let's say, a print like this photograph behind, where somebody could frame it and put it in their living room. Or if you were going to Ireland, to contact Liam and book into his B&B, or go to his gallery. Even if you don't book into his B&B, go to his gallery and you will get a unique gift for somebody, or even for yourself. You don't have to buy it for anyone else. You can buy it for yourself. Am I right, Liam?
You are, yeah. And it's not all about the buying. Like, there's the pleasure of seeing it and showing it. It's not.
Exactly. I know.
I'm
But
not.
I mean, they are unique gifts, Liam. I mean, this is hand carved. This is just, and again, it's bog oak. And as you said, some of this wood has not been touched or not been seen for thousands of years. I mean, you would be getting a very, very special piece if you go to Liam's workshop or his gallery. And apart from that, he's a nice lad, and he'll tell you all about Achill. I can't wait, Liam, to be able to go over and bring groups over to Achill and stay with you. And you might bring us out around the island and
show us. I will, yeah. I'll show you the real Achill.
The real Achill. Well, that's I want people to see the real Ireland, and I want people to see the real Achill and the real Aran Islands, and, you know, the real Inishbofin. And there's, you know, I could bring people in there, but I can bring them around in a bus, but I wouldn't know it like you know it. You would be able to tell me where dolphins appear on the coastline, or you'd be able to tell me where seals go to sleep, or you might even be able to point out where puffins are. I wouldn't be able to do that. You're the local, and you would be able to give the real good tour. So
Achill is like an onion.
Yeah.
You peel back the layers.
Yeah.
And they're hidden layers.
They're hidden layers, and only the locals know these places, and that's the point. So for anyone who is watching, Liam Kelly on Facebook, if you want to see any of his work, either his sculpture or his photography, he's an amazing photographer, and you want to order some of his stuff, I'll put down the information underneath, and you can get him on Facebook. Liam, would you believe we have run out of time? So I want to thank you for joining me. And it's been a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully next year we'll be over annoying you.
Okay, thank you very much for asking me.
You're very, very welcome. And for all the listeners, this program was sponsored by Secret Ireland Tours. So if anyone wants to go over to Ireland in 2022, because I doubt very much, Liam, if anything's going to happen for the rest of this year, I'm hoping that maybe the last quarter it'll open up. But you know, you live in hope. But for 2022, we have the Island Hopping Tour, and that's the one I'll be bringing people over to see Liam. And we have all other sorts of tours as well. So check out our website on secretirelandtoursllc.com. Otherwise, look up Liam on Facebook. Look us up on Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're on MeWe. We're on Rumble and YouTube. And this program will be going up in a few weeks' time. I'll be letting everybody know when you're going up, Liam.
Okay.
So once again, I'd like to thank you for joining me, and thank the audience for watching in. And please like and share. And if you have any comments or any questions to ask either myself or Liam, we'll be happy to try and answer them for you. Am I right, Liam?
You are, yeah. Okay.
Go Míle maith, Liam.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome.